Peace be on you. So before we start, let me mention that I have this prep book for exam P, and it synchronizes with these YouTube videos, but of course it has much more. It has nearly 900 exam level questions, including all the 627 SOA sample questions, plus 26 review sheets. So the way the book is organized, I break down the SOA problems into small chunks, and before each chunk, I give a formula sheet, which will be needed for problems in that chunk. And then I go over the explanations of the SOA problems, and after that, I give you a quiz, which is based on the recent problem. So most of the chunks contain 10 to 15 problems, and most of the quizzes have around 10 problems. And the quizzes are also SOA level questions, which reinforce the learning. And then the process continues for the next chunk of problems and so on. And in the end, I have a comprehensive review sheet and two sample exams, which are full-length sample exams, 30 problems each. And now, one thing which I would highly emphasize is that you should always buy the new book, because you will see certain used options by third-party sellers, but those ones are not guaranteed to be updated. As you know, SOA keeps updating its problems, and it sometimes adds problems, sometimes deletes problems, and sometimes renumbers its problems. So if you get an older edition, the numbering it may have would be not applicable for the current time, because like I said, the SOA keeps renumbering its problems. And the issue is that when you buy a third party used book, you don't you're not told that it is not updated. In fact, you may see the same cover as you are seeing right now, but once the book arrives, you will realize that it was an earlier version and not the one that you are seeing here. The only way to be guaranteed the latest updated new edition is if you buy it directly from Amazon and not from a third-party seller. And Amazon sells the new book itself. Okay, so now with that out of the way, let's come to today's problem. Every member of a certain committee is either an X or a Y. 30% of the X's on the committee are male. 40% of the Ys on the committee are female. 60% of the committee members are Ys. A randomly selected member of a committee is a male. Calculate the probability that he is a Y. Okay, so let's see. So we are given that probability of male given X is 30%, probability of female given Y is 40%, and probability that somebody is a Y is 60%. So let's just make sure we understand that. Because they say 40% of the Ys are female and 30% of the X's are males. So 30% of the X's are males, so that means that probability of male given an X is 30%. Similarly, probability female given a Y is 40%, and the probability of being a Y is 60%. So we have to find the probability of Y given a male, because if you look at the question, it says calculate the probability that he is a male, and before that we have a randomly selected member of the committee is a male. So we are given that it's a male, and we have to find the probability of being a Y. So probability y given male is to be found out. So taking complements of 1, 2, and 3, the probability of female given x would be 1 minus the probability of male given x. So 1 minus 0.3, that's 0.7. Similarly, probability of male given y is 1 minus probability of female given y is 1 minus 0.4, 0.6. The probability of x is just the complement of being a y because you're either x or y. So 1 minus 0.6 equals 0.4. So by Bayes' theorem, probability of y given m equals probability of m given y times p of y over probability of m given x times p of x plus probability of m given y times p of y. And substituting all the values, m given y is 0.6. P of y is 0.6, so 0.6 times 0.6 in the numerator, and then in the denominator, m given x is 0.3, P of x is 0.4, so 0.3 times 0.4, and then P of m given y is 0.6 over here, and P of y is zero point 0.6, so 0.6 times 0.6 ends up being 0.75. That is choice E.